Hi, everybody. I hope you see me and see the presentation because I am driving this seat today with lots of windows open and all sorts of things. So hopefully this will work out, right? In our webinar slash get together slash networking event, as we do, right? In our Magic Beans family, that's pretty much how things happen. So we have a lot of guests today, which means for us not to waste any time with changing the owner and the presenter of the slides, I'm going to do everything myself. That means that every now and then we will have to, communicate about it. So you'll hear a bunch of, can I change the slide or can you change the slide? So don't think it's strange. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome, everyone. Another opportunity to talk about our beloved Reclaim Tomorrow by Magic Beans. This time we're going to talk about tomorrow's translator today. So this is, you will notice always in our initiatives that the titles are always very good because Robert is very creative in the way that he titles the initiatives and the webinars and all of it. So today is another opportunity for you to get to know who we are, understand what's going on in the course, ask your questions. So we always welcome a lot of interaction. We have a lot of guests. So it's going to be a very animated hour-ish, right? So I guess we could somehow get started. First, you will see here what we will cover today. So who is Magic Beans Agency, who we are, what we see at the moment, so a little bit of an overview of what's going on, things we cannot forget or things we need to remember, obviously. Then our response, so all about Reclaim Tomorrow, what it is, what it's for, and our inspiration for it. Then we will speak to our presenters. Some of our facilitators are here, right, to tell you a little bit about their modules. And we also have some of the participants to give you their opinion. Then a little bit of important information, pricing, dates, all that. And then obviously, as we always do, some room for conversation, discussion, and all of that, because that's always our favorite part, right? So at this moment, I would present to you one of the most important people in the Magic Beans family, obviously, Laura Casanellas, because Robert today promised to be really good and not to interfere too much so that we take over and explain exactly what's going on and how this all happened and all of that. So thank you so much, Laura, for being here and for being, the driving force behind this initiative and all the great things that we have to present to everyone today. Laura will talk a little bit about Magic Beans and the actual initiative. So thank you so much for this, and I'll be right back with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. Welcome, everyone. It's great to have you all. I just wanted to say one thing. When we say we have a couple of participants who are going to talk about the courses, obviously people who took part in our first round, which was last year. So they've been in the course. They know us and what we do for good or bad, I suppose. So having said that, just to talk a little bit about Magic Beans Agency, I suppose the clue is in the name. We like to make people, companies and groups grow. This is the aim. Robert created it 10 years ago in July, and I was checking and I think I joined 5 years later. Rita joined shortly afterwards, and we have, other great colleagues, who work in the agency. So we are a group of industry experts dedicated to helping language professionals and teams to prosper and thrive, as we say. And we focus on I suppose, promoting skills, gain and knowledge, confidence, and at the end of the day, peace of mind. So we provide consulting, we provide trainings, which are being quite successful, mentorship, implementation of specific projects. I think there is some sound back. I don't know if
Yes,
people
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to mute people because I can see the windows pop up. I'm very sorry, Laura.
Sorry
I'm trying
about
to
that.
mute, so
No
I would ask
problem at all.
everyone to just mute your mics for now. But we are going to tell you to speak. But for now, please allow just some words from Laura. Thank you.
No problem. So one of the things we are also going to be doing in 2026, which I think it could be interesting for this audience, yourselves, it's kind of workshops as well related to technology, various aspects of technologies, kind of in and out workshops. And yeah, we focus on technology, tools, and AI. I am in charge of this part. Robert is focused on sales and marketing as well, and Rita on quality and talent management. So we have everything covered pretty much. So I suppose we are all a bit exhausted with all this massive change that is taking place in the industry. Of course, not only in the industry, as you know, it's taking place everywhere around us. You know, it's challenging times for our industry. I'm pretty sure for other industries. I mean, I live in Dublin, where the big tech have their European headquarters, and you know, there's a lot of rounds of layoffs recently. So you know, it's all around us, and we need to be, I suppose, quick and try and be able to react as much as possible. So you are not alone, I suppose, in this regard. There's a lot of emotion attached to this. Sometimes in my trainings, I say to people, just, you know, be systematic about your selection of technology or just your decisions, because otherwise emotion can take place, and this is always wrong, or most of the time for this type of decisions, it's not right. So I mean, progress is coming, right? Pretty much everybody in the world is investing on tech. So I suppose, I think there is peace on knowing that this is happening. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So why not take control ourselves and refine the narrative and basically, you know, be a little bit more proactive and be able to stand up and fight back, let's say. Translators are sometimes in the last of the priorities of the big industry, I suppose, partners. And Robert, Rita, and I wanted to do something for translators for a long time. And, you know, we came up with this, I suppose, solution, which I think is quite good. And we are very happy that we are addressing your needs. So basically, I suppose what we are doing all, not only you, ourselves as well, is to try to learn and upskill and adapt, you know, as much as possible to the new times. So just a couple of few pointers, I think, here. As you know, I mean, obviously, I don't know where you come from. Rita, I don't know if you know. I suppose people who live in Europe, there's a new piece of legislation, the EU AI Act, that is being implemented at the moment. They talked about translation very briefly. Nonetheless, you know, there are a number of rules that need to be followed. And also, I suppose, importantly, in most of the cases, they talk about something that is in the aid of people, and that needs to be controlled and verified by people, in this case, by us linguists. So, I mean, there is an expectation, I suppose, that, and I begin to see this divide, which is not great, between people who kind of begin to, you know, to learn and upskill as much as possible, or at least to educate themselves one way or another, and people who are, I'm not touching this stuff. And I think it's a little, you know, I'm not going to say dangerous, but I think it's much better to at least have an interest and to learn as much as you can and how you can benefit from it. Content is king, according to Robert, who wrote this slide. But yeah, what he means here is that like, I mean, content is you know, like companies make decisions based on content and data. I mean, we have an explosion of multimedia content. There's chatbots everywhere. So there's so much content that needs to be localized. This is not slowing down for now. And then also just to, I mean, to remember, we all know, like, I mean, let's say the translation industry is an industry that has been using technology for so long. Like, we all use technology, unless maybe there are people here who don't, and then please put it in the chat by all means. But most people use, of course, CAT tools and terminology databases and spell checkers and grammar checkers and automated QA. So, I mean, you know, it's not that we don't know about technology. We do, and that makes us, I think, quite strong. And of course, like something that we have to, I suppose, make sure our clients know is that we are still the experts, we are still the content experts, the talent who knows, you know, when the quality, you know, to deliver the quality that is required for every occasion. And we need to make sure our clients know about this. So Rita, I hope I didn't take too much time.
Now we have another slide for you, which
Yes.
is about the goals of this course. And then I promise I'll give you a breather and take on and take
No
over.
problem. I am okay. So basically, as I mentioned, we you know, we were thinking how and what to do for translations. We think, because we talk to them, we talk to you all the time, that there is not a need for upskilling. We wanted to provide a thorough understanding of AI and its applications in the language service industry, but not only that, I suppose. You know, we try to, I suppose, to get to have the ability to meet the evolving needs and expectations of the clients. We do think, and we have great examples in the previous course, that you can be independent users of the technology. Why not? Unless in some NDA it says that you cannot use it, you can use it. I'm sure you need to use it responsibly, and this is part of the course, of course, but for sure you can use it, and you can then benefit as well from the technology and then from all the services that can be offered around it. So yeah, we focus on AI skills and technology, but then we have, and this is the part that I think we like very much, it's not only us talking. We thought it was very important to invite independent professionals, people like you, who are specialized in different areas and can give you a great overview and great insights and tips on what they do. And we are delighted with the people we got lined up in the course. And we have a couple of them here already that they'll talk to you about what you know, what their, I suppose, topic is and specialization is. And then, of course, like very importantly as well, is not only acquiring these skills, but also is acquiring the skills of positioning yourselves. I know that translators traditionally, they just don't like that at all. They prefer to be in the background, but you know, there's no harm on beginning to be a little bit more visible, and we give you tips around that. So yeah, you know, we are aiming to bridge the gap between like what people do now and the AI-driven future, and we are very excited about this.
Mm-hmm. We are excited about it. And so we wanted to give you an overview of the actual modules of the course in case you haven't had the chance to look at the website, or in case you have, but you want to see a little bit more in detail what is going on. And so we start obviously with our three technology focused modules where we have Laura and Lucilla Morcillo. Oh my God, that's hard. I have to do it in order to allow us to fully understand the spectrum of AI technology, implementation, innovation, and everything that is going on around us. So the first three modules will be around tech, and really, Laura is the mastermind behind these modules because I'm sure you know, and if you don't, I'll tell you that Laura is a bit of a bridge person between the industry and everything else that happens because she has the language knowledge, obviously, she has the technology knowledge, and she has worked in all sides of the industry. Therefore, she can be a bit of an orchestrator, right, among all of these players. And this is the reason why we feel like the best way to get started in the course is to have these three modules that are a bit more intensive in the tech sense, right? Because we want to give you other views of other people. And this is why we are obviously inviting our other four participants. Is it four with me, right? No, it's for and me. So then for module four, we will have Ana Sofia Correia. You're going to have the chance to see her, and I will ask her a few questions. She's here with us today, and she will be talking about life sciences. She's a pretty well-known professional in this area. So for us, it was an inevitable choice, almost, or a no-brainer, as they say, to invite Ana Sofia to come to us and talk a little bit about this vertical that is definitely her specialization. Then in module five, we will have the amazing, anybody who's been in the course or has seen her anywhere presenting knows that she's absolutely amazing in her webinars and all the courses that she does. She is a very well known and respected interpreter with a lot of experience in the US, in the American continent in general. She's a really good educator. She knows a lot about tech, and she will integrate all of this knowledge for this module about interpretation. It's true, but definitely with a lot of tech that can be useful for anything that you do linguistically in your activities. Then module six is about multimedia localization with also an amazing expert, Alina Karakanta. Hopefully, this is the way you say it. She's Greek, so you can imagine how it goes with the pronunciation. And she's absolutely amazing. She's a computational linguist, she's a professor, and she is also someone I actually met years and years ago as a freelancer. So she started as a translation freelancer, and then she added and added more knowledge. And now she's an amazing, well rounded professional who will bring us also a very enlightening overview of what is going on with media localization at the moment. Then for module seven, I'm sure most of you have seen her around, know about her, know her name. Kelsey Frick, who's also very well known in the translators community, in the freelance community, because she's not only an amazing professional with her project management skills, subtitling skills, but she's also someone who's been focusing on social media in a very, very strong way. And she's helping a lot of people in the industry get noticed, get new clients. So we thought it was essential to have her here with us in one of the modules so that she could share all of this knowledge with us. And the focus will be LinkedIn because, of course, it's one of the most used platforms by all of us people in the professional language business. And then the last module, well, it's yours truly, right? So I'm there just to basically sum up the whole content, to talk about what's going on, what people are doing, what I'm doing, what you're doing, because this is a very interactive module where I'm going to speak, but all of you are also invited to speak. There's a possibility of you being a part of the presentation and all that. I'll talk about it when the time comes, but this is usually a very interactive module because the idea for us is to know what's going on with you, what you expect, what your hopes are, so that we can obviously be here along the way with you. So these are the 8 modules that we have for you, and we hope you enjoy them. And if you have any questions, you will have some time also to ask your questions at the end. So the truth is that we are here for you, right? And this is why we have some of the facilitators of our modules to tell you directly what the modules are about. So instead of me just describing things or you going to the website, we're going to hear from them directly how they feel and what the inspiration was for the modules. So I'll start with Laura exactly with that. So what's the story behind these 3 technology modules? What was the inspiration? What kind of knowledge do you bring that you feel that it's absolutely essential for people to take home once they go about their lives and to implement all this knowledge into their, professional lives, daily lives? I know that during the course, people are already experimenting a lot, implementing a lot, and we receive amazing feedback. So what's the inspiration behind all of this that you will teach us in the modules?
So, as I said before, why not using the technology yourselves? And why not using it in the best possible way for you? It can position yourselves in the sense that you can offer different services, or it can just basically be a productivity asset for your work. I mean, in 3 sessions, believe it or not, even though they are super packed with I suppose, information, there's so much that it can be, only so much that it can be delivered. But certainly, I suppose, I focus on like super practical advice about how to go about select different tools, which ones have, of the main ones, what do they do, what type of use it can be done for them, customizations. I talk about also, I suppose, orchestrators that give you far more reach. Yeah, basically how to implement it, big or small. So I try to cover everything in the sense that I try not to leave anybody behind, whether you are in the beginning or somewhat you have implemented, but you haven't fully maybe tested the new large language models that have more possibilities, are more powerful in terms of quality and what they can do. I try to bring everybody along, and of course I encourage people to test, to go back home, do some experimentation, come back and tell us. If anybody wants to email me in, midway during the week with questions, I will always answer, and just try to give you as much information and like practical information as possible.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. This was a bit of an overview, but trust me, you will have the chance to learn a lot. And Laura loves questions, so it's us as hosts and presenters, this is what we do. We stop all the time for questions, so it's very interactive, like Laura said, and it's true. Nobody's left behind. If you're having trouble following any of the content, of course, during the week, you can let us know what's going on, and we can address, of course. Thank you so much, Laura. And we will move on to our one of our guest presenters. So she's Ana Sofia Correia. She's a translator and a medical translator and a medical writer. And she is someone I thought, had to be the one to be invited to be in this course. So Ana Sofia, are you there? I don't see
Yes, I'm
you in my
here.
screen. Oh, there you are.
Yeah,
Thank you
I'm
so much.
here.
So as you can see here, she's an expert in all of these things. We decided to give you some information right here as they are speaking, our guests, so that we don't have to explain everything extensively 5 or 6 times. But definitely, Anna Sophia is very well known and respected. She is one of the people who is relevant in understanding and trying as much as possible to make it possible to create this bridge between sometimes the scary world of medical everything, right? Medical materials and patience. So this is definitely one of her focus, and it's something that I absolutely admire. So I know that we were the ones who invited you
Yeah.
to be in the course, of course, but why do you think it's interesting and important, and I would say even vital, right, to have a module dedicated to life sciences right now?
Yeah. So why did I accept? Well, basically because my stance on AI is okay. You can try the tools available, try see what works within your workflow, but uh, ultimately do that taking into account the risks. And in medical and pharma, in these areas of specialization, we cannot talk about AI without talking about risk. Of course, that is cross-sectional to all specializations, but I think that it's an area that is extremely sensitive to risk and about confidentiality, but also safety and misinformation and approval processes. So you need to take into account that there are many tools available, but some may not be suitable for what you want. So, and this is something that I address in my module is hopefully it will take you on a journey where we start and where I start sharing the landscape when you'll get a kind of an overview of who are the key stakeholders in this field, the different specialization areas, the workflows that are involved in this area. So how does translation, editing, localization works within this field, and this what are the different workflows if you're working with agencies, with direct clients such as medtech companies, uh, and in this workflow, technology and AI may or may not have a role to play, right? So we as providers, language service providers, because freelancers are also language service providers in this field, we need to understand the current state of machine translation and AI and shape the workflow around that because we also have a role to play in as an advisory. Of course, that we will find workflows where we have to use the workflows mandated by clients, and we either adapt or don't adapt. But there are some instances where clients come to us that have no idea of what's out there or whether I should or should not use a particular tool for this. So but we can only advise uh, if we know what's out there. So, and finally, I will also talk about positioning and how we can grow because you mentioned that medical is scary. Uh, every field is scary. Legal for me is scary. Interpreting for me is beyond scary, right? So every area is scary on their own, but it is possible to go to choose this niche, to go choose this specialization, but it does take a lot of effort on our side from how to develop, go through CPD and how to position ourselves. So this is, hopefully this will eventually by the end of my module, attendees will have a clear idea of this. I don't know if there's anyone interested or already working in medical and life sciences. Hopefully, yes. So that's something, and that's what made me just join the program because of this. And you know that I am one of the most AI agnostic people. But I understand the need to make the make use of the make an ethical and responsible use of the tools that are available, whether they are AI or otherwise.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Thank you so much, Anna Sophia. The truth is that the reason why we bring in other people other than ourselves is exactly to have this variety of opinions and feelings and all of that. Because obviously, depending on your background, your knowledge, who you are, your convictions, and everything else around you, we will have a different view on everything, right? So this is why the three of us, Laura, Robert, and myself, when we were thinking about this all together, we thought we really have to invite other people. And this is the riches of having multiple opinions, right? The idea is to have people who can actually show you that you can use AI, but there are a lot of risks and there are workflows where this is more appropriate and not. So it's not like we're going to throw AI all over you and just try to indoctrinate you or anything like that. So all of the opinions are welcome. We want to know how you feel, And Ana Sofia is one of those examples. I know because she's my friend. She's not the biggest fan of AI. She acknowledges the existence and the importance, and she will be transparent about that also during the module. You can count on that. Thank you so much. We also have, let's see if she shows up in my screen, our Kelsey. Hello, hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Hi, hi.
Hi.
So, Kelsey, so nice to see you. Kelsey, I always say this, but it's a fact, is one of my greatest inspirations to actually becoming. I say this, and I know lots of people, thousands of people can say the same. You are one of my inspirations to become more active on LinkedIn, of course. And this is why when we think about a LinkedIn expert, we always think about Kelsey. At least for me, it's just absolutely inevitable. I don't know if you feel that way yourself, we'll see. But the truth is that we thought you were really going to be someone who could bring a really fresh outlook on all of this, whatever you want to call it, if you're more marketing oriented positioning or your personal brand, whatever it is. So we know that Kelsey sums up all of these concepts and comes up with really approachable, understandable, and really useful and easy to apply tips for you to be more visible and more active on LinkedIn, because these days it's part of the job, right, to do our thing. So Kelsey, thanks so much for being here, and thank you so much for accepting the challenge. People were delighted with the module first time we did it. How do you feel like what you know, because I know it's from your experience, can actually bring new perspectives for people to be out there and to be more active and to show themselves to the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'm first of all, thank you for that amazing introduction. I swear, if my head gets any bigger, you're not going to be able to fit it on the screen. But um, I'm much like Anna Sophia in that, like, I am very AI agnostic. I'm not AI's biggest fan. But I think given that you've kind of allowed us to craft this module in a way that both, sits well with our own kind of personal values, but also with the aim of equipping people to know as much as they can about AI to be able to make their own informed decisions, is something that I really felt like I could get behind. So yeah, I think there's a lot of fatalism out there right now of like AI's taking over, and why would I work on my personal brand, and I don't even know what the market's going to look like in a year, or blah 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 blah. But I mean, the good news, and I'll give you the big hint of my module now, is that much like Robert said, content is king, but also that kind of that authenticity, that that what am I looking for? I guess, yeah, authenticity, but that trust that you can build with people is all the more important now in this AI era. And a lot of that trust, happens from that before you even work with anyone, right? And to build that up, it's looking at your positioning, it's looking at your social media, it's all of these kinds of things. So yeah, like Robert said, trust is ultimately what companies are selling. And especially in such a murky industry like the translation industry, we all know how it works, but that doesn't mean that anybody else does, right? So being able to kind of build that trust and build that profile for yourself before you even get to that pitching or sales process really gives you a leg up. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on in my module. It's looking at the practical things that you can do, talking about trust as that currency. Yes, there are, applications where AI can help. There are some helpful bits, but I'm really focusing on making sure that we're still sticking to ourselves and that AI is not replacing our own personal creativity. It's just saving some time rather than, replacing our souls.
Wow. Let's go. So with this sentence, how am I going to talk about my module, right? Without mentioning our souls. So thank you so much, Kelsey. Thank you so much for that. I have actually been accused of using your tips on my LinkedIn profile, right? Somebody pointed out, oh, you're already implementing Kelsey's tips. Maybe it's my new blue background in everything that I do. Maybe that's what it is. So, like I said, the last module is my module where I'm there. I mean, I'm going to be the constant presence for anyone attending the course because obviously there's a lot of admin behind it, all of these things. So most of you have seen me around. Most of you have heard from me, on LinkedIn, anywhere, right? So the idea is actually to come to you in this last module and take you on a little bit of a trip of what is happening right now and possible avenues for you to grow, maybe in domains or areas where you never thought you could go, right? So I'm all about getting inspired by all the things that you already do to do new things, because this is a bit of what I have been doing. I keep on doing the same thing, just a little bit of reinventing, but I guess I keep on doing the same thing. The basics and the passions are the same. And I do believe in working from your passions. So building on your passions and creating your career from there. So this is a little bit of what I'm going to be talking about, but I've already extensively talked about module a little bit earlier, and there's descriptions about it, there's videos about it. You know me, I'm always talking about this same stuff because all I want to do is to talk about the language industry, and this is why I go to events, I do everything I can to be present and to somehow, it's my fetish, if you want to say that. Okay, but we also want to know what people who have already done it, right, who have already done the course, think about the course. And this is why we invited a couple of people who have already participated to see what they have to say. And starting in my neighborhood, pretty much, right? He's also Portuguese. Our João Campos was definitely one of our most active participants, right? So, João, are you there? I think I've already seen your name somewhere.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Hello, there he is with this tree of life. So very good.
Yeah.
He also wears the headphones like I do, which is cool. I like it a lot. João, thank you so much for being here. I know that you were always very active in the chat, during the modules, after the modules, doing your homework. Yes, because at least in our technical modules, it's something that Laura always does, is to give you homework, right? Because the idea is for you to not necessarily forget about everything that happened or only think about it in a few weeks. The idea is for you to do the models either live or in the recorded version, and then make the content your own and start implementing, adjusting your workflows, whatever it is you can do. So João had a lot of opinions, a lot of questions and all of that. So that's really good. So how has it been going, João, now that you've finished the course in December? So it's been about 2 months or 3, yeah, about 2 months. Do you feel like you have already implemented some of the things that you've learned or that you've brushed up? So do you feel like it was useful in the sense that you can directly implement it in your daily life, or is it something that you're still working on?
Oh, no doubt. It was very useful. All the models have a lot of information, so useful information. So there is also a lot to implement over time, which is challenging, but it's very good because we are always trying and meeting new problems that we have to go, Laura, please, can you help me on this? And the other instructors also. So I've been implementing all those suggestions. I've been working on my LinkedIn. I've been contacting more clients. I've been contacted by other translation agencies. So it's important to put yourself out there so people know what you do and what you are offering, what is your specializations. So what this course brought me most was a certain confidence about the future, to be relaxed and well enjoy while working a lot and being prepared with some tools to be able to navigate all these changes without knowing exactly what is going to happen, of course. But well, we are here and let's go.
Very good. Thank you so much, João. We have another participant with us. We have Jens. So it took me a while to figure out. Now we've talked many times. We've done videos. We talk about the course, all sorts of things. We're now a bit more acquainted. And I should get your name right the first time around, right? So
you did. Yeah.
you were also very participative, not necessarily during the modules, but ever since it ended, I can feel that there was a bit of a movement around you and that you actually started looking at the content with a very specific type of eyes. And I know that you have been implementing a few things. So how's it been going? Did you start immediately when the course was happening, or did you wait until the end? Did you go back to the modules? Because of course everybody has access to the recordings, right? So how has it been the whole trip after the course?
First of all, you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, no, I started doing things right away during the course. First thing was that I worked on my LinkedIn profile a lot. I mean, I've had my profile for many, many years, but I never really took care of it and I never really used it. So big shout out to Kelsey, because I pimped up my LinkedIn profile quite a lot. I started posting content. I started interacting. I started connecting with people and all that. So that because that was I think that was the easiest step of them all. So I have a pretty neat LinkedIn profile now, I would say, at least.
Let's visit, right?
Yeah, go and visit and connect. I don't mind. I want you to connect, actually. Of course I do. Other than that, yeah, I started having a more serious look at AI technology, of course, because it's unavoidable. I got back to using my own CAT tool, which I had abandoned for a number of years because I was mainly working for agencies and they all have their own tools that I don't like any of those, actually, because they're compared to what I used before, which is Stratos. I grew up with Stratos, basically. All those online tools have very, very limited functionality, and so you can not customize them, and the QA functions are crap. Sorry, they seem to be very, very bad. So I'm exploring the realm of AI not only for my own translation purposes, like integrating AI helpers into my own workflows, but also beyond translation. I've started to get into prompt engineering, like doing classes, participating in courses and all that, and getting certifications. It's all still very basic though, because I mean that was 2 months ago, right? That I started doing all these things. Other than that, I got one new client as well. Hooray!
Congratulations.
It's not quite a replacement for the client I lost due to AI last year, but so I still have some gaps to fill. But I can see some things are happening and they're going in the right direction, I'd say.
Thank you so much. That sounds great. I'm glad to know that you're doing all of that. And one of these days you'll become a facilitator, right? We'll add a module about technology, prompting, and all of that, and you'll be
Prompt
facilitating
engineering,
it.
yeah, no problem. Cool.
Thank you so much, Jens.
Okay.
So here's some, as we call it in the Magic Beans family, house cleaning information, right? So we have, as you heard, extensively 8 live sessions over 8 weeks from February 18th to April the 8th. You will have obviously you will be sent the links to all of the materials every single week after the modules are happening live, right? We will meet on Wednesdays this time. Last year we did it on Thursdays, I think, and this year we're going to do it on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. CET, and the modules last for about 90 minutes each. I can say that we usually go a little bit overboard and stay a little bit longer because the conversation gets very interesting, and sometimes the discussion is going, so why would we stop it, right? So the idea is for you not only to learn but also to create community. We have LinkedIn groups specifically for Reclaim Tomorrow participants. We are always expecting and waiting for your emails for all the resources that you have available. One of them, or the most important one, is the fact that you have access to everybody. And if you want to ask a specific question to anyone, everybody already knows, and they're always welcoming your feedback and questions. So here are a little bit more details, pricing, all of these things. I guess I don't have to read it out loud. We have a discount code if you want to use it. And you can obviously go to the website and get a lot more information, more details. Everything is over there. Robert has just announced that the website was renewed recently, so everything should look good, everything should look fine, and you can have more information, connect with all of us facilitators, the Magic Beam teams, and everybody else involved in making this possible for us and for you, because for us this is also an amazing opportunity, as you can imagine. Of course, Robert, I was going to ask you if you would like to add something.
First of all, to everybody who joined the call today, it's really good to see this level of interest in engaging with the topic. As Laura said earlier, it's affecting everybody. We feel it's very important for you all to have the information that you need to make the choices you need to make. It's great to hear from those who participated in the first class. So Joao, Jens, and I think Nora is there as well. Thank you so much for coming today and sharing your experience. I just wanted to draw attention as well in terms of the investment. There is the discount code there, but also the course can be paid for over 4 equal installments, which we hope helps people as well. Please, please, please don't let the money issue be a barrier. If you want to come and talk to us, I'm sure we can accommodate something. So, if you don't ask, you don't get. Please come to us, talk to us, and we're going to start, I think it's next Wednesday. Am I right? Wednesday?
Yes, that's right.
So only a week away. Don't hesitate. Any questions, come to Rita or Laura or I, and we'll be happy to help. And it's great to see all of you today. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm wondering if anybody has questions. Of course, I didn't go through the chat while I was talking, so I really don't know if you have any questions, if you would like to get your mics on. Nora, I know you're there. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to give us your feedback, that would be lovely to hear from you. Hello, are you having technical problems, or can you we cannot hear you. I guess you have either no mic.
He's on mute at the moment.
I guess not. We cannot hear you.
Maybe some
Okay.
people will have questions, Rita.
Yes,
no?
of course. Of course. I'm just wondering, any questions, since Nora is having her issues, technical issues. So if you have any questions, feel free to just open your mics and ask away.
Or any comments as well.
Yes, of course. Any comments, any questions, any ideas?
Any experiences. Use us. We are here. If you have any practical questions, you can ask.
Earlier about interpretation. Hi, Birendra.
Hello. Hi there. You have a question? Please go ahead.
I'm from Canada.
Welcome.
So this is webinar for translators or interpreters. Translators is only translating in the written form, one language to other, but interpreter is interpreting in speech and gestures and and language and other things. So
Yes, we're here for everyone. So we
what
even
role
have a
will
specific
be
module
more
about interpretation.
what role will be more effective, translator or interpreter?
Well, the idea is to take over the whole industry. Just kidding. No, we do have a focus, obviously, when it comes to AI, we have a focus on translation. But the truth is that we also have one module fully dedicated to interpretation, right? And of course, throughout the rest of the modules, interpretation will also be talked about, right? So yes, so there's an interest for anyone who wants to come, whether for translation or interpretation and other things that you might do now in the very wide variety of jobs that we have in the language industry. So there's room for everyone. So there's beautiful information for both
So
interpreters and translators.
so you get some assignment for translating the documents from one language to other, and then I get the document and then I translate in a Word format or some other format. How will I get the wage? Wage, the salary, the wage.
No, this is not a project, right? This is a course that you need to do. So this is not a project. We're not here to advertise or to recruit for a project, right? So this is a course for people to learn. It's not a project, right?
Okay.
So if
Okay.
anybody has other questions,
No. I have a more important question. This is AI swallowing the jobs of the professionals, because AI is snatching the jobs from the human.
So the idea is for you to learn how to deal with AI, to know more about AI so that you can take back your power and, present to clients the solutions yourself, give them your opinion, talk about new opportunities. That's the general goal of the course. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So anybody has any
you said
more?
you said Euro 100 will be discounted from the course. So if it is 100 euro, it will be discounted. What will be the total price for this training?
So, Birendra, what we can do is we can contact you directly and organize something for you. If you drop your email maybe to me in a chat, we could take that offline and organize something for you.
Okay. I will leave my email address in the chat.
Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I see Nora is writing here. She's saying, I really liked that you covered a lot of topics where AI can be helpful. I came because I am not a geek, but I am convinced that it isn't AI that will take your job, but people who can use AI better than you will. And I think that's the thing that certainly we have reconciled ourselves to the fact that AI is here, it's going to be here in the future, and we want translators to, number one, feel empowered, feel confident, and also sustain their value and their hourly rates, right? Which is super important. Nothing is getting cheaper in this world, so why should your hourly rate get cheaper? That's a key message. I think that, for us, it's important anyway.
Look, I mean, I suppose what I was trying to say before is that translators, minus Jens, who said who wasn't using a CAT tool for a while, but I know you were saying that you were using online CAT tools. Normally, translators work in technology, within a technological environment. So, I mean, AI is just another tool. It can be very powerful. It can be a little scary, but it's just another tool. So why not having another tool that you can use? This is the whole point, I suppose.
So our Ana Sofia has a comment question. You're muted.
So it's a comment/question. You know me so well. That's why you asked. You have a comment or question because you know what's coming. Uh, sorry. I enjoy doing introductions. I think that courses like this, even if you're not, like Nora said, I'm not a geek as well. is this because we as freelancers are coming from a time where we didn't have to work for it, right? So usually we come from a tradition of, unfortunately, that's what history has pushed us towards, is that uh, a client comes in, we do the work, we invoice by, and usually it's just we are stuck in this wheel, and we didn't never had to think of what's out there, how do we market ourselves, what tools there are, because we have always been used to working with the tools that agencies said. And then suddenly we didn't use tools, then we started to use tools, then there were fuzzy matches, then we are earning less and less per word because of said tools. And then we feel like being honestly exploited by agencies because the bigger you are, the worse you are in terms of company policies. Um, so now, at the same time that we were, as a professional, as a community, opening our eyes to, I should market myself. I should put myself out there. I should invest in knowing more about my industry, about my specialization. Bang! We got stuck in the AI hype, and so we're running behind two schedules, right? One is the technology, and one is the market positioning. And I think that this course gives you those two things, even if and it, I understand that you are this is coming from someone that is AI agnostic, like I mentioned, is that you need to know what's out there to make informed decisions, to help your clients make the informed decisions, and that will help you focus on developing your skills in your industry, and then to more take the wheel in the client conversation stage about it, about the tools that are okay, the tools that are not okay. But it gives you the best of both worlds, I think. And so this is, we start with the AI, and then we go to the specializations, to some specializations, and then comes in Kelsey with the positioning, because this is what we as freelancers, as business owners, need to address right now. It's the tools we can and cannot use, and then to use it to our benefit, especially in supporting areas, not just to press a button and translate, and then to position ourselves as specialized and experts in your fields, but also in technology savvy, because that's what the market is requiring right now. No question. Just
So
this comment.
my life, our lives are very demanding, right? They have been always, because it's always been depending on your circumstances, obviously. But if you have been in the industry itself, working with agencies, this is what it is. You have been subject to all of these changes over the years, but now it seems like it got to a bit of a peak, let's say that. And it's true, I guess I agree with Ana Sofia when she says that we now feel like we have to do more, to put ourselves out there, to learn new skills that have nothing to do with our language skills, but have to do with our existence as professionals in the world and the way the others look at us. So, very good. Any other comments, questions? If you
Dropping
cannot speak.
my email address in there as well, in case people want to reach out, if they have other questions.
Somebody has a
About
question,
the
Robert.
homework, right?
How much
So
time do you
somebody,
spend? Yeah. Will I
sorry.
read it, Rita, since it's possibly related to my modules?
Yes, it is, I'm sure. Yes.
How much time do you estimate will be needed for the homework between modules, and can it be postponed? Of course, homework is always, something you do if you want, if you can. It's never something that you need to do. And let's say, even if you do the course and you haven't been able to do the homework, and one day you send me the homework and the course is over, I will look at the homework and I will give you feedback, because once you join Magic Beans, you are a bit of a magic bean, and you are part of us, let's say. So that's not a problem. I mean, obviously people just work me as well. You know, they need to do so many things. But if indeed, if you want to do it, you can show it to the class the following day, or we can comment it together, whatever. We are very flexible.
We have another question. Will there be any help installing LLMs? Look at that question. Locally on laptop or utilize a personal TM?
Need a big laptop with lots of
Exactly.
So this is not a workshop, which we'll probably potentially do at some point. I will be doing demos and I will be showing the different ways of connecting LLMs. What I would encourage you, Pat, if you come along, is that I help you doing it. You tell me which type of tool are you using, etc., etc. And along the AI modules, during the AI modules, we see if this has happened or if you need more help or whatever it is. But certainly, yes, there will be a lot of help in that regard.
Yes, so the Laura, when she sees that there are certain questions or certain topics that come many times to our inbox, then she will find a way of integrating the new information in the modules. So it's a live project, right? So it's not the modules are not completely finished until they're completely presented, right? So that's usually the case. So you can be sure that if there's any specific thing that you need, we will do our best as a team to somehow cater to your needs. Thank you so much for the question, Pat.
I was going to say
Hilda says-
just a couple of other comments. So two of our presenters are not here today. So Nora Diaz, who covers interpretation, but gave us a really, really impressive presentation on how to use LLMs for lots of different terminology, linguistic, learning related tasks, research tasks as well, which was really impressive and I think very applicable for translators in any domain, really. And the other person who's missing today is Alina, who really opened our eyes in terms of all of the amazing things that are out there for multimedia, audio, voice, video localization, which, as you know, is exploding. And one of the interesting things there was how the technologies that are out there are able to open up, like basically lower the barrier to entry and open up new revenue streams for translators in different locales and introduce new tasks that they're able to charge for as well, which I thought was also worth mentioning today. And they'll be part of the course, as Rita explained earlier.
So I know we've reached the hour and plus, but this is what we do. We always go a little bit overboard with time because we feel like if there's something important to be said, it needs to be said. So if you guys don't have any more questions, do you? Any more questions? We have a comment from Hilda. Thank you, Laura. I look forward to be sort of a magic bean. I love it. All of us joke around with this name, obviously from the head of the man himself. We also have a podcast episode in the Language Worker podcast about the course. I'm talking to Robert about it, a few more details here and there. We have a lot of content out there that you can check and see if this makes sense for you. If that's the case, let us know. We're all ears and we're all here to see what you need, what you want, and you can always count on us for any doubts or any questions that you might have. In the meantime, if you want to share your LinkedIn links, all of the things you haven't done so far, feel free to do it because we're going to be closing in a few minutes. So if nothing else, we will see you next week for the first session of our course with our amazing Laura Casanellas as our first presenter. Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you around.
Thank you very much for putting up with us. I hope we entertain you and inform you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody. Take care.